All right, welcome back, everybody. Holy cow, that's a hot mic. Let's turn that down a little. There we go. Down a little more, maybe. Yeah, that's better. All right, captions. Why aren't you captioning? Because you're not on the right thing. What's the right thing? This one. Do this thing. Do that thing. Click the button. Yeah, captions. Holy cow. What's going on with my mic? Okay. Down a little more, maybe? Yes? No? Are you on the right audio source? You have to be. Okay. Well, that should be good. Yeah. All right. So, welcome back to my stream, everybody. I'm DC. You can find me all over the internet. DC Lasair. That's DCLASAIR, !DC in the chat. Gives you my website, my Blue Sky profile. I make free TTRPG tools. You can find my latest one by !Vault. It's there. It takes you to my GitHub. Download it, use it, keep your campaigns organized, do the things. And let's see, who do we have today? Hey, JD Lady, hi. Thank you for the resub. Prax, hello. Magic button time. Yay. Thanks for the resub. Springleaf, hello. And a new hat. Yeah. Brand new hat. I like this hat. This is good. It's comfy, too. Usually not a baseball cap person, but I have a couple, and this one's pretty comfy, so why not show it off? All right, so this past weekend was Gen Con. Yay! I was there. Oh boy, that was fun. So I'll go over like the Gen Con journey, and then we'll do the show and tell stuff as soon as I open up my can of pop. So Gen Con Day 0, which was Wednesday before Gen Con, is when I arrived. I had an excellent Reuben, by the way. It was great. I had to eat, and where we parked the car for the weekend, there was a deli nearby, so I just walked in there. And yeah, that was real good. That is really good food. So yay, corned beef sandwich. And I got to see a bunch of awesome people, which I have pictures of, but the pictures are for me, so. But I got to see Cypher of Tyr and Latia, amongst many others, so that was fantastic. I'm going to take some of those pictures, print them out, and with my little photo printer thingy I have, and put them in a field notes book. The weather was all right, except for Saturday, which we'll get to in a moment. Friday morning at 8 a.m. was my panel, which had about, for a Friday 8 a.m. panel, usually my panels sell out, and then the amount of people that actually show up to the panel, it's different. That's been a common thing, right? So I had what I'd call a decent turnout. There was about, 12 people there maybe. I was hoping for a little more, because usually there are a few more people there, but I'll take it. And I did my whole Excalibur base presentation, which I really liked. I thought was great. Did all that. And oh, yes, that's right. I am going to be doing a one-time reduced cost online production class, except it'll be longer than what I did at Gen Con. So you'll get to see that great presentation in all its glory. And it'll be like 2-3 hours worth. So I'm going to do a limited seat thing. It'll be the lowest price I've ever had on production learning things. So, and it'll be limited seating, and it's the only time I'll ever offer anything at. I'll offer courses again, but just not as this low of a price. So look for that in the coming weeks. I'll make an announcement. And later on, I got to talk to Brian Cortillo for a while, which is always great. And we were talking about panels and things, and he mentioned maybe developing this into a workshop and what I could offer people who come to the workshop for things, and then making it a paid event. And that way I can go a little longer, and also, give people a physical thing they can take with them. So that'll probably, if I do Gen Con next year, that'll probably be what happens. If I get into the workshop thing, I've never done a workshop at Gen Con before. I've always been under seminar, so. We'll see how that happens. And sorry, I got distracted by a thing. Then Saturday, oh boy, Saturday was fun. It was a bit rainy. I went outside for lunch, and I was waiting in one line at the food trucks. And it was a little sprinkly, but I was like, yeah, I can. It's not bad. I can stand in this line. I can wait and not be soaked by the time I get there. Then it started to rain a little harder. And I'm like, you know what? I now can't stand in this line. So I found another food truck with a shorter line. And then I was near Lucas Oil Stadium, so I immediately went into Lucas Oil to get out of the rain, because if I had stayed outside, well, my food would have been wet. And so would I. And that was not a desired outcome at that time. So, into Lucas Oil, and then by the time I was done eating, it had stopped raining. I was like, okay, cool. That's neat. Oh, let me pause the music here. And then, I went to I have to say that I did a lot of the writer symposium panels. I went to a lot of the writer symposium panels. And if you go to Gen Con and you can fit in your schedule writer symposium panels, they were all pretty fantastic. I highly recommend checking out a few if you go. I enjoyed each one I was at, and not just because Tanya Cipher of Tyr was in a few of them. I mean, that was definitely why I went to some of them, but the ones where they weren't involved were also pretty darn good. So definitely check out Writer Symposium stuff if you can. And probably why they were excellent, right? And let's see here. I also got to see we'll get to some of the news things that came out in a while, but some of the news stuff I still have to go over because I couldn't be at all the announcements and everything like that. But I was at the D&D keynote because, of course, I was. Rex, hello, welcome on in. Thank you for the resub, appreciate it. And that was pretty good. I think the big surprise at the end was the D&D Star Wars announcement, which I'm excited about because Star Wars is my jam, and it's also like a 5th edition compatible Star Wars, and so I'm like, yay! This, I hope it's neat. But there was lots of good announcements there. The World of Warcraft thing, people seem generally excited about. I was amazed at the amount of options they're giving you in the D&D World of Warcraft crossover. There's going to be so many. This could be a really good book. TTRPG, where you don't have to have proprietary dice. Yeah, that's one thing I was excited about. Now, there has been a Star Wars D&D game before, but that was for previous editions. And so now they have another one. So World of Warcraft, Star Wars, pretty cool overall, I'd say. Those are the two I was most excited about. And then the other ones, it was the why haven't you, it's always the struggle I see online between the people who say, why haven't you released this classic setting yet? And then the other side of the coin is the people who say, we want new settings. And, what are you supposed to do with that? Right? Because there's very loud people in both groups. And so you just, you do what you can based on other marketing and other research and things like that. Because I think that's a thing for a lot of TTRPG games, is like, old stuff's better, and like, no, we need new stuff. No matter if there's a game that's had any sort of longevity to it, yeah, D&D being the one of the big examples of that. You're gonna find that. I mean, I've seen people go on Pathfinder and hire more staff, runs away from angry CEO and board members, right? But I've seen people, Pathfinder 2 came out and they're like, grr, Pathfinder 1. And then people are like, Pathfinder 2, yay! And you go into World of Darkness, you have the same things. And so, you need other metrics than loud, shouty internet on both sides to help inform what products you bring out. Because loud, shouty internet, no matter what side you're on, is still loud, shouty internet. So yeah, overall, the D&D stuff looked pretty good. Some things I'm like, okay, might be a good book. Some stuff not exactly for me, like Dark Sun. Lots of people were happy with Dark Sun. It's not a setting I've ever been interested in, but I will totally look at all the art in the book because there's fantastic art. And then there's Dragonlance. I should at least read the first 3 or 4 Dragonlance novels at some point. But most of the classic D&D settings I never really read into, other than some of the Forgotten Realms. So a lot of my stuff is just homebrew. And so, I've gotten a little bit into Eberron, which has some cool stuff. The third-party stuff was interesting, where other companies are taking on D&D properties. I'm sure they'll be I don't know. The books might be put out by Wizard of Coast, like Ghostfire Gaming is. I think Ghostfire is taking Eberron, or are they doing the Forgotten Realms book? But yeah, but it's like a third-party publisher doing some sort of book in this universe of D&D. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm curious to see what what results. And we've seen this before in 5th edition and the 2014 version. And now we're getting it more into the 2024 stuff, which is great. Oh, I need to do my reminder. Reminder. Do. As I talk about Wizards of the Coast things. I have done contract work for Wizards of the Coast and continue to do so. They do not, however, have any authority over any of the opinions I state on this channel. Everything I say is mine. All right. I like a lot of stuff. And Steven, hello! 69 months. Nice. I got a new hat. That's a nice number of months. So yeah, it's really comfy. I mean, I'm usually not one for ball caps, but I'm like, oh, it's his. I gotta point at it right. Over here says DM. So I'm like, yay. Tanya, hi. Oh, hi. I recognize that hat. Yeah. And so lots of D&D announcements. I have not had a chance to look over all the World of Darkness announcements, what happened at their panel. I heard about some of the stuff. I know that during Gen Con they released an alpha for the 6th edition of Vampire. I haven't read it yet, though I have seen some of the reactions, and right now we're kind of But so I hope there's some more details about that. And there were some other games I just haven't had time to go into look at. But D&D stuff, interest, some of the interest, especially in the World of Warcraft and the Star Wars books, and the third party, couple of the third party books that were announced. Those hold more of my interest than anything else. As far as what's in D&D is concerned. Again, I have not looked at the alpha material for the 6th edition of Vampire. I did read some of the comments, and I'm like, But as a longtime player in the World of Darkness, I am kind of interested in the directions they're thinking about going and things like that. There were a bunch of other announcements, too. And I'm blanking on most of them. think we'll probably go over a bunch of them when I talk about TTRPGs on Tech Friday. Let's see if I can find a quick article. That's a link to a video. That doesn't help me. Hey, thank you for the hype train, everybody. No, I don't want to show me the content, not the banner. How about you? That doesn't tell me anything either. All right, well, I'll find some more articles and we'll talk about it on Tech Friday. Oh, I got it. So YouTube now shows me my vertical content. I don't, and it's auto cropping, so interesting. All right. I didn't know that was a setting. You can't, once you start streaming though, you can't set the YouTube vertical thing because there's now a horizontal and vertical right next to it. And YouTube just kind of auto goes, hey. So I don't know what other things there are because I can't click on it because it says, nope, this is your setting. Forget changing it. Let's see. Oh, let's get into stuff. Once again, I got to hang out with one Cipher of Tyr, which was fantastic. Highly recommend. We'll do again. Some other people, I got to meet Tony Troxel, who was really cool. Tony was at the LoreLink booth, and I might preview that on Friday if I have time to take a look at it. Of course, it's in competition with my own campaign management things, so you know there's that to consider. But I still do want to take a look at it because it seems pretty cool. And you know, at least mention there's another tool out there that friends are part of, and you might want to support. So stuff, show and tell, hat. I got a shirt which is in the laundry currently, so I'll show that off on another day. But as I said, all the Writer Symposium stuff was pretty fantastic. I like what I saw, and they had little gift bags there that if you had a ticket to a Writer Symposium thing, they just gave you a bag of free stuff. And there was a variety of different stuff, and people were looking at the books and things. And I'm like, I don't know most of these, so the bag I pulled had this called 10 Sleep. And it had this card game, which I haven't opened yet, but it looks fun. Called Necromancer card game. Oh, let's turn off green screen. Boop. Yeah, this is out by Kobold Press. So actually, let's open it up and take a look right now. That'd be pretty good. So yeah, free stuff at the Writer Symposium. And they were handing out bags until they ran out of them. Now I'm trying to peel open the box. Peeling open box. Box, be more appealing. All right. So yay, got rules. Got things to punch out. Nix, thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, Raiders. Hello, I'm DC. I produce TTRPG streams and all that. Let's see if my button still works after I've been gone for a while. Welcome on in. I produce TTRPG actual plays. I did the last couple seasons of Rivals of Waterdeep and many charity streams. Oh boy, I got back from Gen Con on Monday and I didn't stream yesterday because I was in recovery mode, and so I'm going over stuff and the Gen Con experience, and I'm now at show and tell. Oh, I didn't mention the other big event on Saturday. I'll have to do that. Let's get through this first. So there's an example of the cards. Look at this art. That's fantastic. We'll read how to play it sometime. But this might be a good quick game for when my friends have a board game night. So the other weather event at Gen Con, we'll pause the show and tell portion. There we go. Was that there was a tornado warning, not a watch, an actual warning. And they're like, everyone moved to shelter. And I was meeting people at a hotel lobby, and I was in the main building. I'm like, well, I need to be in the hotel lobby soon, so I'm just going to go to where I need to be, and then I can hunker down there. So I went there, and then my blood sugar was feeling a little low, so I'm like, okay, I need to get food. And so I was in the food line, and there was announcements over the intercom of the hotel, but really couldn't hear them. And then a manager or someone in charge of the hotel came out and directed people to, go further in, away from the large windows. This is all in the hotel lobby. And most everyone there was like, okay, and just kind of sat there and did their things. And the buttons went, the hotel sound went off. Still couldn't understand the announcements over what people were saying. So you could see the wind blowing hard, and the rain was coming down a lot. And so people were just kind of chilling out there. I'm like, well, okay. Let's see. It turns out the tornado almost touched down Lucas Oil. Oh, wow. Glad I didn't know it. I'm glad I didn't know that before now, too. Wow, yeah. The people that were in Lucas Oil, which is where it's not Adventures League anymore, but the Greyhawk world thing that Adventures League became, that all that was in Lucas Oil. Lucas Oil Stadium. So they all kind of grouped together. And then a couple of other of my friends that went to Gen Con, they were also in Lucas Oil, and they were kind of sardine packed into a bathroom for a while. Yeah, and then one of the people I was sharing with a room with comes up from Brazil with her husband, and she was mentioning, she didn't know what to do because she heard the sirens and alerts, but then everybody was like chill, and this wasn't quite the same experience. Brazil is a very different climate, right? And different things happen. And so she's like, I'm not sure what protocol is here. And she's like, okay, everyone's just going about their business, so I'll keep doing my thing, I suppose. And she also mentioned that in Brazil, lightning, because there was lightning too, but that some of that was earlier and just had light rain. But apparently in the climate of Brazil, where the part they are in, they're used to, if there's lightning, the rain is heavy and just coming down in buckets and buckets. So that was also counter to her experience of weather. She didn't know that could happen. And yeah. So Banana Mobster, hello, good time zone. Welcome on in. Yes, I am also very glad I didn't know about that. Because that would have been a pants changing event. Usually yeah. And if you want to see some of the water damage that happened, go look up Imperial's Instagram, Misty Imperial, and check out their story of there's a hotel called the Omni Hotel in Indianapolis, and it's one of the connected hotels to the main convention center. And look at the water just flooding down through the lights. And yeah, that closed down the bar. A little bit of ceiling collapsed. And so there were some other hotels with some significant water damage. And yeah, definitely check out the video. And the convention center itself was hit, but fortunately for the convention center, it was in the vendor hall in a little in a corner. I say it was a area, but apparently no one was there. It wasn't really being used by anything, but it had a significant puddle there. But they were able to clean it up overnight. Yeah, and as Tanya's saying, panel got interrupted and moved into the panel room that had no windows across the things. And hi, Tony. Welcome on in. Just talked about how cool it was meeting you. And how I'm going to be hopefully checking out Lore Link in the next, either tonight or tomorrow. And what'd you say here? Tony, he's local. First, you heard about it, just sitting in the vendor hall getting annoyed at their vague safety instructions and the tone used. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like the tone being used in the vendor hall. Rex, good gods, I'm looking at a map and that is far too close. Yes, it is far too close. That is... That is it. I mean, I'm in Michigan, and a couple months ago we had a tornado warning here, so the sirens went off, and it's just like, okay, sirens going off, time to go to the basement. And we made sure we had flashlights, and we just went down into the basement, made sure the cat was down by us, and just watched on TV, or I had YouTube up with weather reports on it, and and so there was a little more nonchalantness than that I was getting the feeling of at the part of Gen Con I was at. But yeah, I'm glad that I did not know about the tornadoes that close, touching down on Lucas Oil Field. That's wonderful. Great meeting you. Oh, thanks, Tony. Yeah, but luckily, seems like everyone's was okay. And that was probably the largest weather event at a Gen Con that I've been to. So that was... that was something. And I'm thankful that the wind wasn't, stuff wasn't blowing material into the glass of the buildings and things like that. That was good. It seemed to be mostly water damage that occurred. So not that that's great, but out of bad stuff that can happen, I'll take it, I guess. All right, and then Sunday was a real good time, and Monday packed up, headed home. Yeah, it was good. The drive back was great, by the way. There's low traffic, pretty smooth sailing. It was a nice drive back. All right, let's get back into show and tell. I better cover the big weather event. What else did I get? Oh, I forget how I got this. It was another freebie. I think. I'm not sure if it was the hotel or what. Anyway, got a card game. I don't know if I'll use. I may just go, hey, someone interested in this? Here you go. Flip 7. Oh, called Flip 7. So I'm like, okay, I'll take it. I'll look at it at some point. And then there was a lot of books available at the Writers' Symposium from the people there. And so I picked up a couple of them that I am interested in reading. This one, The Game Narrative, Kaleidoscope, 100 plus essays on the craft of game writing. I like collections of things, books like this, so. Seemed like a good thing. And then the other book I got was called The Game Narrative Toolbox, 2nd edition. And so I will be reading these soon. You have work in here. Well, definitely need to read that. And in the ooh. Well, now I definitely got to read all these, right? Like So yeah, I was looking through the books there, and these were definitely the ones that kind of sparked my interest. And so I will be reading these very soon. As I'm like this narrative stuff, yeah, I can see where it would help with TTRPG things. So I'm like, yes, please, these. Oh, I have to admit, I didn't buy any dice. I still got dice. One guy in a hotel lobby was just throwing out, you like dice? And you're asking people at a role-playing con if they like dice. So he was throwing out random bags of dice, but didn't buy any, right? So my random bag of dice was these. And what I like about these, is that they're larger and I can read the numbers. So these are great. This was a great random pick. Oh, you got yellow, which is yeah. And then I got the D&D D20. Oh, look, the DM logo matches the hat. Came in this handy bag. Sad being, Puddle Glum, hello. Oh. Anyway, here it is. And you shake it up. And then it kind of fills up. I bet you know who has a bunch of these though. Let's see. And the 20 is the that little DM symbol there. So yeah, I liked it because the sparkly bits kind of move around, because it's kind of liquidy in there in that middle. They have the week off for break, no work questions, right? oh, and thanks to Tony at the LoreLink booth, I got another notebook, gridded, or dot gridded rather, and a pencil. It has a bit of a grippy. I like the grippies. Again, we don't pay attention to the notebooks that DC has. There might be a few of them, but we just look over that and move along. Oh, gave me a very neat droid duck, but poor thing got decapitated by fall off my knee. Aw. Oh no. And then I have to say, I did get an RPG because I'm going into there's a clean break, just gotta sit with glue and pins. Okay. Yay, recoverable things. What on earth was that noise? Something made a noise. I'm not sure what it was. All right. Well, so I was looking at games that said, yeah, this is a solo RPG. I'm like, well, there was a couple books there, and I wasn't sure. They both looked the same. They had different covers, and the one was just the alt cover because I asked the guy, okay, which one is the solo RPG? Because, I was just looking at the covers. I didn't know if one was like, oh, this cover is our solo one. This is our other one. So I picked this up since I want to do solo RPG content on this channel. So we'll be looking into this at some point. As well. It says it's a solo campaign setting, so, and that's what I like is that it's campaign setting. And okay, we gotta look at some of these pages here. No, that would show off some of the adventure, but looks like it's a D20 based system. That's fine. Okay. Hey Nick, hi. But look at this design. This is good. I like this. All right. And everything else I got was all tools that, books of charts and things like that to help me roleplay. Because as a person who makes free TTRPG tools for you to use, I also like having a small collection of things. So I added to that with a couple of roll and play books. So if I want a quick NPC, got this one, Fantasy Character Kit. And they're under terms like monks and combatants, paladins and holy knights. And so you just have various charts to roll on. Like that. Same thing for this one, Game Master's Fantasy Toolkit. I like having access to these things for inspiration. Should I need it, it is very cool. So these get added to the resource shelf. Oh, I got this, which is probably my new favorite fidget toy. It's a cube of maps. This was at the Inkwell Design booth. But it's a Rubik's Cube of maps. And no matter what way you turn it, they all connect. And so I've had it at my desk. I've just been using it as a fidget toy. They even designed it so that the corner here connects up to the other side. And there was a little card in with this, and I redeemed the code on the card, and you get I think they're all PNGs, but basically you get a set of these tiles, like really big, so you can assemble your own maps in something by using all the separate tiles and putting them together yourself. And so that's a lot of map options. I'm like, ooh, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I already threw away the box. I don't remember what this product is called directly, but yeah, this is great. So yesterday I was just this was my fidget toy yesterday. I was just constantly playing with it, and then you do that thing. But yeah, it's great. I really like it. And related to that, and I think this was in the same product line. Yeah, I think that was Dungeon Morph Cube or something like that. But I think Dungeon Morph is the name of the set. And they had these little packs of card maps. And there was a sale, so I got 4 of them. Got these 2. And so you open them up, if I can open it up. And these are great. They all have numbers on them, so if they're front and back, they're wet erase, so you can draw on them. And again, these all, whatever order you put them in, all connect, and they're themed. So that, and there's a little map key on the back of each box telling you what everything does in each set, and that's not coming into focus. And so, yeah, they're designed to connect up. Everyone, let's see, what number is this? That goes there. And so what's neat about the number is that I can assemble them at my home, and then when I go, okay, this is my map for this, pack them up together, and just take those, but I can take a picture And so, or write out on a table in Obsidian and include that in my book, so that when I lay it out in my friend's house and I'm doing my home game, I can go, okay, 6S went here, 2S went here, and so forth. So that is really handy, because I'm not taking all of these with me every time. I'm just going to select out what I need for that particular game. So we have the Adventure Explorer and Spelunker cards, the cities, ruined cities, and village cards, Delver, Trailblazer, and Voyager cards, and crypts, lairs, and sewer designs. But yeah, that goes into the resources toolkit. Lurking for a call? Okay, thanks for the lurk. Let's see, want someone to make that with stamp material, and you can twist it and then put it on ink and line up the whole randomized map. Ooh, that'd be fun. Well, there you go. That works too. Yeah, but a stamp with ink and yeah. I thought this was cool. Instant starships. So it's another card deck. I don't really play card games, but I have a lot of cards that provide things for TTRPGs. So what you do is there's an instructions card. So you take the designations card, you put that aside. That has a bunch of words on it, and I'll read some of them later rather than trying to get it to go off. There are ship naming cards, so if you want grimdark names, sad cowboy names, sad cowboy name being the Blackened Eye, Constant Sorrow, Daytona Ranger. There are aggro names, which one is Power Violence, all in caps, and Stop Hitting Yourself. Meme names, so all your ships are belong to us, or all your base are belong to us. I'm not crying, you're crying is also on the suggested meme name. And so they have a few cards of names if you want naming suggestions. But what you do is are these the art cards? Yeah. Now, these work for either ships or drones. You can determine what size you want, but you pick from this, whatever design you want, or randomly pull, right? And then there's a bunch of these tech cards that have two pieces of tech, and so you just pick one, and you put the ship card covering up the tech. So here I would have gelatinous fields and not accelerated compost tanks. Some of the names on these are great, by the way. And so you can just pile on different tech things that the ship have. And, repeat as many. And then you do the designation thing. And so a possible designation is I could do a disco class ship that is a collective cruiser type. So it's class scope type. So, or I could do a MIDI modular freighter. Well, these are awesome. So yeah, I like me space, and so when I was a kid, your mom had a stamp set that was sort of fairy tale theme that had building block element. Ooh, neat. So yeah, okay, I need to take a break. Have more stuff to show. And then I want to talk about some possible changes to what I would carry and things like that for next time. So, turn that back on. All right, I'll be right back in about 5 minutes. Gonna run some ads, keep the pre rolls away. See you soon. All right, welcome on back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around through the break. Oh boy, we got more stuff to look at, and then some more talky bits. All right, so along with map, I got probably my favorite little map book. Lock Battle Maps was there, and they have this thing. It's tiny. What I like about this is this easily fits in a bag, and I can open it up and just have 2 pages. You know, these are 5-foot squares, 1-inch grid. You can wipe clean markers on them. You can also get other books in the line and like add to the length, but this is a great travel size. Really like it, especially when I'm doing my minimal DM toolkit to take with me to conventions if I don't have access to electricity, things like that. You know, like a little grid like this is perfect for laying out some, player minis and maybe some monsters on this side, or however you want to spread it out. And just have a base idea of positioning and things like that. Because you can always abstract distances too using these, but you get a little, you can do field, stone like it showed, kind of sand. You can also things like that. And there are 40 maps in here. And I don't have a banana for size comparison. I don't have a coin near me either. But yeah, this is Vancouver by night. Hello. On the bright side, you could be playing V6 right now. Right? Yeah, I still gotta read through there. I was reading your comments on all that stuff, and yeah, I have yet to go through it myself. So welcome on in. So yeah, these are neat, like these. There was also a place there called Midnight Syndicate, and they had done CDs and still do music, as far as I know, for tabletop games. And back in, when was this made? 2003. They had an officially licensed Dungeons and Dragons CD, and then they had one called the 13th Hour for more horror game vibes, called Cthulhu, etc. So I'm like, thank you for still selling CDs. So I'm like, ooh, physical music. And then going back into resources, I got a bunch of the new 2024 D&D reference cards. So there's magic item cards, spell cards, and my favorite, monster cards. I really like spell cards. Give me a game with spell cards. I really like them because, again, I'm going to take what I need, and in my minimal DM setup, I'll grab the ones that I just need for that adventure or for that, game I'm running. And let me pull out this one here. But the monster cards are wider than the other ones. The spell cards and magic item cards are more what kind of similar to more similar to playing card size. But these, look at that fantastic artist credit, and then all their stats right on the back. So yeah, love these. These will be absolutely fantastic. when I get back to playing D&D. And speaking of role-playing games, my next home game that I'm running will be Dragonbane, which I've mentioned this before, but that will start not this weekend, but the following weekend. We'll do our session 0, so that will be that'll be a lot of fun. But these are really fantastic. So spell cards, again, box, and they have the spells, name, stats on it. I love little reference cards like this. I will put them in my binder. As a reminder, so because I'll use both digital and physical tools, and so I can have my notes up, and instead of having to click around for the spell, I can just have it on that note card in front of me. So those are all fantastic, and those are the new ones for the what's being called 5.5 or 5th edition, 2024 edition, whatever you want to call that. Yeah, so that's the stuff. What else did I... What else was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah, carrying things. So I have my bag that I've shown off before for conventions, and it's useful to carry books in and things like that. And if I'm running a game, it would also be convenient for that. But also there was a consideration of maybe getting a sling bag. And if I just wanted some of my stuff with me, like my charger and business cards and that type of thing, wallet, cell phone, things like that, just a little sling bag that has all that stuff, so I'm not carrying the full bag around with me. And I don't know if I'd really want to also carry that bag with me and then just switch between them, or just keep it to the one, right? And there might be some conventions where the sling bag is way more useful than my slightly larger bag. But I really like the bag I have, because especially at a dedicated gaming con, I can fit books in it and things like that. But maybe I'd spend less if I don't have a convenient way to carry something with me. That's also a consideration. If I just have, my snack, my low blood sugar emergency snack bar, putting a grocery bag folded up or in a small baggie inside it, because every time I go with my sling pack and find stuff that I want to purchase, like books, right? So yeah, that's kind of my push pull of, do I really want to have this other bag, or do I just keep with the larger bag that I have? And by larger bag, I'm not talking excessively huge either. It's a normal size bag. It's not even like, there's backpacks that are larger. Often have those roll up reusable totes. Yeah. Yeah, I just like having my hands free is another thing. I'm carrying a tote bag that kind of drags, after a while. But if I have something with shoulder straps, yay. Oh, hi, kitty. Oh, we might have kitty time here. Hold on. Hi. Hi. Where are you going? Yeah? Okay. Bye. Well, maybe not. You gonna come back here? What are you doing? Hi. Oh, yeah, you're coming back, are you? You want to come over here? Come over here so I can pet you? Or do I have to get up and grab you? Apparently, I'm going to have to grab you. Okay. There we go. Shady Lady and Nick say hi. Rex acknowledges your presence. Oh, oh, okay, okay. Down you go. All right, there you go. Good job. Got some plastic to throw away here. All right, I'm going to take care of the cat real quick and enjoy the chair. Be right back. Okay, come on. Let's go. All right. Oh, okay. Hannah's stories I was told while I was gone. So, uh, so my office where you see me stream from, the command center as I call it, is in a basement, and apparently, and I would sit outside the door. The door would be open, by the way. I usually have the door open, but she would sit outside the door and just meow her little head off because I wasn't here. And would do that for like an hour each day. And then she also took to jumping up on my bed, which she almost never does, but I wasn't there, so she had to walk around and search. Like, I'm not in my places. Something is clearly wrong. And then when I came home and I finally had my stuff in the door, and I walked up to where her little walked into the area where her little perch is, and she was just laying up there, and then she kind of saw me, looked at me, got her look in her eye, and was like, huh? And then she jumped down, came over to me, and wanted me to pet her, and she immediately flopped on the ground, wanting me to, as JD Lady has called it, play roly poly. So, so we did that for a bit. Last week you were on vacation with your mom. In preparation, she slept in a shirt every night for a week and left that shirt on her bed. Oh yeah. Just so there's something that smells familiar. All right. So, if there's any questions about Gen Con or any of the experience, or you want to ask more about my cat, now's the time for that. But we might wrap up early so I can get some supper. Depending at, well, wait. Hold on. Checking. Okay, yeah. We could go on a raid. But yeah, if there's any questions, we'll think about that again. Tomorrow, video games. We're going to try to see if we can wrap up Mina the Howler. I'm in the final area, so I don't know how big the final area will be or how long it'll take, but we'll see what happens. And then Friday will be Tech Friday. I was made aware of a new audio plugin for OBS that we definitely need to talk about. It's been there a while. I just hadn't heard of it before, so new to me things, and so it'll probably be new to you as well. And I had a contented little smile there when you were holding her. Very sweet cat you have. Yeah, she's the. I've had a couple cats before Hannah, and by far she is the one that wants the most attention. The other cats would come in, be like, "Hey, pet me," and you pet them, and they go like, "Okay, good enough," and good. Not that Hannah doesn't do that, but she is very much more. Definitely needs people around. Where the other cats were nonplussed. So. So Tech Friday, OBS thing. Obsidian had an update while I was at Gen Con, which was very rude of them, but has a couple new neat features I need to try out, and then I'll explain all those to you. And I think there was something else I want to go. Oh, if there's any other role-playing game news, I'll try to, if I have time, I will go over that and we will talk about it during the TTRPG segment of Tech Friday. On Tech Friday, let's see what else did I want to put in. Oh yeah, and Springleaf post about some headphones. We'll take a look at those as well. And yeah, hopefully I'll have time to take a look at Lore Link, and we can talk about that. And I have a couple of ideas for I don't want to quite say new TTRPG resources, but resources. Glad to have you back, and that the storm, while scary, didn't do physical harm to anyone. Yeah. Same. I didn't hear of any around the convention center areas that I was in anyway. So Let's see. All right, we are going to go raid one Stephen Joy's. Do a quick repost of his announcement. And I am going to go have some dinner. Oh, my legs hated me yesterday. Let me tell you what. Because see, when I'm at conventions and places, I also like wandering. And so I got in a lot of steps. Not just wandering around convention, but going through a little bit of the downtown area, going to different things, just a lot of steps. And the way my legs were, like Monday after I got home, through all of yesterday, just like, nah, why are you moving? You got to get up. Why? Why are you doing this to us? And so, yeah, there wasn't going to be a stream yesterday. Yeah, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. Let's go on a raid. I will be back tomorrow with Mina the Howler. Same stream time, same stream channel. Maybe I'll go back to a different hat. I don't know. It'll be fun. Talk to me on socials, things like that. I'll be doing stuff, I'm sure. And have a great evening, everyone, or time zone, depending on where you're at. And I will see you all tomorrow. Please be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, and stay tuned for the raid. Bye.